Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans on this Thursday, February 13th, 2020. I want to bring you guys an update on the story line that's deriving out of South Carolina. This story is pertaining to Miss Faye Marie Swetlik, 6 years of age, still missing out of Casey, South Carolina. If you need verification for the information, log on to ABC4 WCIV News. Mr. Evan Antley was giving a statement on behalf of the police sheriff department there in that area, and he wants everyone to know that there was an SUV that was identified, I guess in video, and they have located the occupants of that said SUV. They have talked to them, and also a sedan was also mentioned, and they're wanting information on that sedan that was located or mentioned in the video. If you have information on that said sedan, please notify the local police department. But they have identified the occupants of the SUV and have talked to them. They want to thank the community for their shares of information which helped lead them to both vehicles. The work is still ongoing. Many people have been asking about the vehicles that were towed from the home, and they're not giving any information to whose vehicles they were or who they belong to. People were asking also about the home being searched that belonged to Miss Faye, where she lived, and they want you to know that they've been to that home several times, and that the search is remaining in that area at the moment of Churchill Heights area. They have also searched landfills. People are curious to why. He wants everyone to know that they are not leaving a stone unturned in the search for Miss Faye, and that is why they have also searched outside the area, trash, landfills, etc. Reporters asked questions naturally after he gave his statement, and he wants them to know that they are still gathering videos pertaining to this case. They are still someone asked, about the SUV. Was it visiting the area? He cannot say, but know that the focus at the moment of this child's disappearance is in the area where she lived. And they will go outside the area if need be. And they are looking currently at other areas, of course, outside, but their main focus is the area where the child lives with her family. He wants everyone to also know that they have had a lot of information given to them, and he has more information than he had as of 5 o'clock on Monday, and they're getting closer to where they need to be in this investigation. It was also asked about persons of interest. And do they have a person of interest? Naturally, because it is an ongoing investigation, they cannot say who they have as a person of interest or if anyone is a suspect. But their goal is to bring Faye home. So naturally, they cannot give any information to say who is and who is not a suspect in this case. Other information, people have asked about the family. Will they speak? Because obviously they have not spoken to the public. The gentleman said he cannot speak for the family. If they will or will not speak, it will be their decision if they decide to give a public comment about the child's disappearance. Neighbors are concerned about them holding the neighborhood on lockdown, but as he states, Mr. Antley, they have no choice because that is where the child went missing, and so their focus is bringing Miss Faye home. So the neighborhood as of now is on lockdown. That is mainly where their focus is, where their investigators are, and that's where they're going to remain. And they hate that, that it's causing a problem for the neighbors, but they're doing what they have to do, and they're trying to bring this child home. Now, another question was outside the perimeter. Are they searching outside the perimeter? And basically, he is saying their main goal is right there at Churchill Heights area. Okay. If you have video surveillance of that day in question, which was Monday, they want you to notify the police, and they will send someone to pick up the said video footage surveillance, and you will not have to go in and take it yourself. They will send someone out, and they want the neighbors to know that if you have anything that you think is pertaining to the events of Monday, please call the police department, and they will send someone to bring to pick that information up from the video. And basically, that's the latest I have, is that 2 vehicles have been identified in video surveillance. One was an SUV. They've contacted and found those people, talked to them. What became of that conversation, I do not know. A sedan was also identified or mentioned in a video, and they are still needing information pertaining to that sedan. So if you live in this area, please give the said information to the authorities. And the parents have yet to speak. He does not know if they will speak or not. But we will wait and see if they give a public statement. But one thing I found interesting is after Mr. Antley gave his commentary and concluded the press conference, a black gentleman got up and walked in front of the cameras, and he was talking very loud, and he was kind of loud during the questioning period when the reporters were asking questions, and I guess they also had public people asking questions, and he kept saying something about SLED or their involvement and yah, and I was trying to get a clear understanding of what he was asking. I don't know if he's trying to say that other organizations weren't doing their part. I don't want to go on record saying who said, didn't say, but I just thought it was interesting. I could hear him in the background before I actually saw his face. Finally, when the interview concluded, he walks in front of the camera, and you could see him still talking loudly and saying we need to try to get this girl home. And it seemed like he was basically saying they're not doing all they need to do to get her home, and maybe there were some other organizations that were supposed to be helping. It was as if he was questioning their diligence in being involved. So I don't know what all that was about, but he was a bit boisterous, this African-American male, older male. I don't know what his stake is, if he is a activist or who he is. I'm assuming he lives in the area, but he was giving his opinion, and he was boisterous. But beside all of that, Faye is missing in Casey, South Carolina. Faye Marie Swetlik, who is 6 years of age, a Caucasian girl child. She's missing from this city, town, and she needs to be found. And if you have any information, please notify the authorities. If you know anything about anything pertaining to her disappearance, notify the authorities. I'm sure her parents are worried sick. The community, the neighbors are worried sick. This is a horrible situation to have a child gone, a small child gone, and you don't know anything. And then you've got other kids who played with her, knew her family, and they're wondering where she is. And this is a terrible, terrible situation. Once again, another child's missing. And I think it's pathetic that people have decided that they have nothing better to do than walk around looking and lurking in front of people in the shadows, hunting down babies. And I don't know what the remedy will be, how you can even stop this madness, but it's sad and it's pathetic that people have nothing better to do than get out here and stalk children. And it's sad that the last video footage that we are seeing, the public, is of her on the school bus. And she's, looking in and out of the seats, and then she gets up and walks off the bus. And that's the last time that she's probably seen by her peers, is on that school bus. Now, who saw her out in the yard playing, I don't know. But it's just sad nonetheless that she's currently missing. And this Mr. Antley is wanting everyone to know that they're doing everything they can to bring Miss Faye Swetlik home. And he's not leaving a stone unturned to find her and bring her safely home. As I state, the family, they are cooperating. I don't think I mentioned it before, but they are cooperating with the police department. I do not know if they will give a public statement or not. I'm sure most people are hoping that they will, because you know how we are when we don't hear the family speak. We start to wonder. But as this police officer stated, everyone is different. He said he didn't know what he would do if his child went missing. He could never say what he would and wouldn't do. And I understand that, because we can be judgmental when children go missing, people go missing. We start wondering why people aren't talking, speaking, giving said information. So we will wait and see what will become of a public statement and any more information brought forward to the police department and to the public. We're praying for you, Faye. We're praying that you make it home safely. And if anyone knows of her whereabouts or have this child, please take her back to her family, because she's a child and she deserves to be with her family. And no one has the right to take a child that does not belong to them for any reason. Like and share. Drop your comments below. And thanks for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Bye-bye.